Assalamu alaikum. Y'all may be seated. Thank you all for coming out. Today is going to be the first of many, or well, I'll say the first. Yeah, I may get stoned after today. It's a wonderful thing to be taped, because most of my audiences are at home listening to the tapes after it's been presented. However, over the years of gathering the righteous, we've got quite a few brothers and sisters that has accepted the process of being right, and we're developing a place for them to actually practice it so that they can actually be that and reap the rewards of right. Is everybody all right? Yes. Does everybody know what the topic is today? I'm going to speak on the woman, and I'm going to speak on our woman, the black one. I've been thinking about this for some time. However, before you go to someone else's being or home, you should make sure that yours is right, or that you have command of it. So that means that the black man, I should have made an impression or an indentation on the black man first before we attempted to do anything with the black woman or his helpmate. So for the years that has passed, it looks as though we have got the cream of the black man, so it appears to be. So now I can focus my attention on his helpmate. So that's what I intend to do today. So if you will, put your listening cap on and listen. And mainly the brothers, because you're going to have to explain this. They're going to have questions, I know. So they should be answered if you are listening, because what I'm going to share is that which they don't have no ability to know. Understand? Yes, sir. In other words, there's a difference between God and Godist, man and woman. Regardless of how they talk about, your better half or your other half, no such thing. No such animal. You have the God, Godist. You have man, you have woman. You have he, you have she. You have him, you have her. So it's always one step below. That's a very good place to be. Very good place to be. It's like you're working on a job. You don't have to answer only for what you do on the particular job. But the foreman has to answer for the whole thing. So when the owner steps in, he don't go to you. He goes to the foreman and asks him, well, what about this, and he's got to know everything. So just to be in a position naturally, by nature, just to take care of your part is very good. It's a blessing. You all comfortable? Yes. You sitting too close? Well, here goes. In the process of us trying to weed out what was wrong, a terrible accident took place. And from that accident, it caused us not to be able to reproduce ourselves. Man. Period. There was no such thing as woman. Just man. And what I'm explaining to you is the essence of everything concerning this matter. And when I've completed, you may ask me questions. So since there was no way to reproduce ourselves, us being gods, we had to go back into our own creation and the creation ability to find out how would we, what must we do, what should we do to bring in another way of reproducing ourselves, since we lost the knowledge of how we were doing it, and that was the knowledge of creating ourselves. The original man, the black man, originates from an idea, from energy. In other words, directed energy. Not matter. Energy, that's his conception. And from that he took on matter to bear witness that he existed. Not so with the woman. She was made from matter. So that's why it's very difficult for you all to understand somewhat of the unseen, because you're not from there. It's like me going to your house, or I meet you in the street, and I try to describe your home to you, and I've never been there. Even if I walk by it, I can tell you what it looks like from the outside. However, I have no detailed knowledge as to how it's even constructed on the inside. It's almost literally impossible for me to do. That's the same way it is with the female. It's literally impossible for you to tell God what he is, because you can't be that. And the very thing, are you listening? The thing that is visible to the man and woman are the reproduction organs. It's very clear that you all are missing them as the way where a man has. You don't have it. And that's the main reason why you wear the title, unless you're married and have access to one, you're called Miss, because you're missing it. You don't have that. Are you listening? Yes. This is not to have any type of vulgarity thoughts applied to it. The reason why I'm doing this at this particular time is because if there's to be any females to be saved, you're going to have to know this. Because when you come up against a God that is actually starting to be God or being God, you're going to lose. I mean, you're going to lose. I don't mean you're just going to lose casually. You're going to lose seriously. Not even you as a parent or a mother, after a certain period of time, and the child's supposed to have learned certain disciplines that you've been expressing to the child, and they ignore what you have taught them and still come up against you. You don't take that if you're a real mother. You immediately let the child know you done overstepped your bounds. You're stepping in the ground that you have no idea that you're stepping into. Are you listening? Yes. Keep in mind about the time. If I have got enough brothers that accepted to be God and accepted the formula of how to be God, then I've done my duty to the black man in that respect. Now I have more trouble in retrieving the black man for him to be himself out of the black woman than I do the man. It's like this world that you all are living in has taught you to be above the black man. He's elevated you out of your station to make you believe you are equal or better. You can think better. You can get more from the society. You know, you can do a whole lot more things. That may be true if the black man don't want to be extremely wicked. Hope you're listening. Because this is an ongoing problem. This is not a difficulty. This is a problem. So if any of you all want to be saved, I have to perform or allow certain knowledge to be shared with you so you can make a decision. You have not seen the black man as God. You haven't seen that. That don't mean he's not. We have not seen you be a goddess. What we have witnessed from you to be very devilish, because your husband and your man is the devil. So that's what you present to us. And anytime the black man wants to step out and actually be himself, you're right there and say, I'll be damned if you're going to do that. And if he says, well, I'm going to do it in here, well, you have to make a choice between me and that Solomon. Well, if the brother is really stepping into being himself, it ain't no choice. It ain't no choice. And you all going to have to know this. Mark this. Mark this day. Because I'm starting to share this publicly, you're going to start seeing things. In other words, it's not in the closet anymore. It's not it never has been a secret. It may not have been time to be known, but it never has been no secret. However, if you continue the challenge that you keep presenting, you're going to see the black man come up to do things that you've never seen before. To some of you, it's going to be extremely frightening. And when you call the man on him, what you call the man, when you call him, he's going to see the same thing. The difference between the black woman and the white man is that he's a man. He still is able to see things that you are unable to see. So when he sees the black man, and when he becomes frightened, now he has to go get things that will neutralize or equal what he sees in this man, this power he sees in this man. He can't really do that. How do I know? Look at what's happening in the Middle East, or in these periods. Anytime a man would strap a bomb to himself and just blow himself up just to get his enemy, that's divine. You might say, but that's crazy. That's not crazy. That's not crazy. You know, if you've ever reached a point where you got so angry, you say, well, damn, if I die, I die, but I'm doing this. That's where it's going to be with the sisters. We're no longer going to stand by and let our woman that's made for us, by us, from us, come against us. This nation has got to be built because it's already prophesied. If it's not, I'm a liar. And before I'm deemed as being a liar and being ratified as being a liar, I'll destroy everything. Won't nobody be here to say he's a liar. Won't nobody be here. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying this as I'm angry or upset, but this is very necessary. In order for you to do the things that must be done for you to be saved, the first thing is you got to submit to your brother. And don't say, well, I'll submit to him when he's right. That's when we first started off, and I'm still trying to make him, in the process of making him. Now he's gotten to the point, the ones that's been with me, the ones that you are just coming in, you missed a great opportunity. You missed it. It's almost like you can't catch up now. If you do a crash course, you can't catch up. You know, and to be with us, you might give us a way to go. You might gain on us something, but you're not going to catch all the way up. However, the ones that have went through this, they have given themselves entirely to the idea, not for money. They're not being paid. They take all this back talk, slack talk, weak talk from their mothers, their sisters, that's not in it, their wives that leave them because of it, and they still stick. It's got to be a time where ease comes after that kind of difficulty. And if we allowed ourselves to go through it for the sake of being right, because the one that's the author of right is here, then I must bring ease. And before that actually takes place, I got to let you know. While bring them ease, if you come against it, you may as well step into the fire. I'm going to say it anyhow. You know, Wichita is a very blessed place. At the same time, it's like a damnable place. When it's talking about the brothers and whatnot, what should take place, they got some very powerful brothers here. And when the sisters, even if they're in the same family, have that same kind of power, they use it in the opposite way of the brothers. So the scientists call this place Wichita.
Yes, sir.
You can change that around. Y'all sad? Well, until this actually sinks in, and you all take a look at what the black man has got to do, this is a duty that is so awesome that it boggles the mind if you are not totally into the spiritual part of what must take place. And I don't mean going to church and listen to the preacher, because he don't know what the hell he's talking about. He don't have a slightest idea what, so forget that. They're going to lose. Matter of fact, they've already lost. If they don't come quickly with this, they've lost. The only thing that they can do in this is get a job. They don't have enough knowledge to even perform a duty. People that's dumb have a job. People that's wise, and that's with God, they don't have a job. They have a duty. That's why it's written in the books, keep your duty to your Lord. They don't say nothing but a job. But in order to keep your duty to your Lord, you've got to have some type of intelligence and operating in it. You can't be dumb. You have a little child that just come into the world. They're not dumb, but they can't keep no duty. They're only that way because they just got here. But after you're here for a while, you got to be accountable. And I'm saying today, the black woman, by me being God, I've caught more hell from you all than I've caught from anybody else. I have children. Everything that you all go through and have been through, I have gone through it and I'm in it. Me personally have gone through it, but you keep me in it with your things. Because you're constantly calling me, telling me about and asking me about what I've gone through. And by me going through it with the knowledge that I have, I know it inside and out. So when you call me, I can tell you exactly what to do. So I've gone through it, but you keep me in it. You get that? Yeah. So what I'm saying today, when you call me about things, especially if you're with me, about that type of behavior, I don't have anything to share with you. And if it's serious enough, I'm just putting an X by your name. To me, you become unknown. For real. Every female that I've known, except my wife, that's with me now, has come against me. I'm talking about the ones that's in my particular family, have come against me to the point of call the sheriff, call the FBI, get him on something. And I answered every one. And I got the king here with me today. He's been with me, and even with his wife. All come from the woman. Staying in the house, she take all the clothes and throw them out the upstairs window, throw them outside. That's what she think of God. Well, if that happened, it was over, fine. It's still happening. It don't happen to me no more. But it's still, if it happened to you, it's still happening to me. You remember what it said, if it happens to the least of mine, it's happening to me. So I'm warning you, that's not going to be tolerated any longer. Because I got who I came after. That's just to the black man. If he wake up, you in deep, deep trouble. If you're not willing to change. And brothers, that don't mean that if the sister says a few things that's, uncomfortable, that you just jump on her. If there is any sign of her making any type of progress towards aiding us in this idea, she should be tolerated. If there's outright battle, forget that. Forget that. That woman that was the mother of my children in the beginning, when she came against me, you got to move out. I said, well, no problem, I'm gone. You're not going to tell me I'm going to be with God, I'm not going to be with God, or I got to accept you or see God through your eyesight. That don't work. That don't happen. Well, I'll call the police. She called him. 2 of them came. White. Came in the house. They sit down and listen to her, and I just sit down looking at them. After she finished, they wanted to talk to me. I said, well, there's no need to talk to me. Look at me. Everything she said, you can't tell us a lie. You see? Then when they did see, they got on her. Wasting their time. But why would you do it in the first place? I've gone through that, but I'm still in it. So when the brother comes and I see the brother really wants to be God, I'm going to tell him what to do. And if he don't do it, I'm going to do it for him. He won't have to be guilty about nothing because he don't know how it was done, when it was done, who did it. He has an idea, maybe father. This is important. Now, this is very important. Don't gloss over this. We're talking about another person that's being made like you were in the beginning. We made you. You were very loyal to us. Until we decided to find out what is the thing that is bothering us for real that we cannot solve. During that process of finding out and getting rid of it, we had to give you up. And when we gave you up, you went to the enemy and you boosted him and made him what he is today. You don't think so? Look at Condoleezza Rice. Right there with him. Talking in his behalf. Making excuses, lying her butt off. But I've been here over 10 years. It ain't that they don't know me. But you see, still coming against us. Still coming against us. How long should I allow this to take place? No more than 10 years. The black man that hasn't come within that period, and the 10 years has expired. If you haven't come, you might gonna catch some hell. You're in it now, but I'm talking about really catching it. It's one thing to be on the ball team, and you're on the field, but you ain't caught the ball because it didn't come your way, but you're on the team. So you ain't really felt it. You wait until you catch it. I've seen it. Brothers hit a ball and throw it so hard and knock your glove off. Have your fingers stinging. Are you understand what's being said?
Yes, sir.
In other words, I haven't ever been just talking. I don't just do anything. I'm just for doing it, but I'm not just doing it. There's got to be an end to everything that's wrong. There's got to be an end to it. And it's not going to end without an outside force from itself, because wrong didn't start from an outside force. It started from us. Not that we did wrong, however, just by us being in motion made it possible for wrong to be in motion. You wouldn't know nothing about wrong if it wasn't right. If there was no right, wouldn't be no way to measure what's wrong. Is that right? So wrong is not going to go away unless there's an outside force to make it go away. You're looking at it. You know, for 10 years, and you look, now I'm looking over what's here in Wichita, and this is what I see. You know, just in your own mind, just say, he really is God. He really is the supreme being, the supreme being, the supreme being. He really is. Suppose it was you. What would you do? You would say, oh, well, I forgive them. I just keep on talking and hoping that they come. God don't do that. We plan. We plan. And we carry our plan out whether you like it or not. If you agree with it, you won't like it. When you first step into it, you may not be over-enthused about it. You may be all charred up about the theory of it. But when you go to actually start to do it, it's a different thing. It's no longer theory. It is. Now, you can have a way of measuring how close you are to the is. I don't want to submit to him. I don't want to hear nothing about him. I don't love him no more. We got married. I thought it's going to, all that. And you base everything that you do on your daily activity. What you see on TV. The hamburger commercials. McDonald's. Yeah, you do. The football team. Basketball. Never me. Never me. I don't play football, basketball. I don't eat McDonald's. I don't go to Burger King. I don't do none of those things. But I see you all every day. So when the brother comes in to do something, even when we started down here, they had a sister here. I think she was supposed to have been under the teachings of the messenger or the follower of the messenger. Had the bean pie recipe. I asked her for it, no. I didn't ask her for it for me. Because my wife knows how to make bean pie. I do too. till she come here while we're teaching, she want to walk out in front of the place with a picket sign. She. Not he. She. So I'm supposed to say, well, that's all right. Call the newspaper. Newspaper calling us up. Oh, what is this? About the, Brother Secretary's right there. We got all the evidence on all this. What the female's doing. You all are wicked. The brothers are dumb. Y'all do things that's just dumb. Because it ain't really against yourself. You might say, well, I'll come against him. But it's in like a dumb way. Them sisters, y'all sit and plot. And when what you come up with is like, whoa. I'm telling you what I'm experiencing, what I experienced personally, and what I'm experiencing with all of you all. And just here in Wichita, we're all over the country and outside of the country. We've got the invitation for us to come over and start teaching in Africa. I haven't finished teaching here. You understand what's being said?
Yes, sir.
If none of you all make it, I have the knowledge and the power to make another one. And I won't have to worry, I won't have to be concerned about if you are going to be with us or not. In your very make, you're going to be with us. However, this will be at the last alternative. I'm to make all things new. I must have your permission to do that if it's going to be you. If you don't give me permission, and you've been with this other man so long, and you want to stay with him, I'm not going to make you come with me. You just won't be, period. You won't be to go nowhere. Because you will be nowhere. Are you listening? Again, I'm not saying this because I'm angry or upset. This is out of necessity. And as far as I see, we have the Caucasian female here. You were here last time I was here, weren't you? Or you were here before? God is very, very merciful. But there's a time when mercy is not right. You know, you can put it in its wrong place. And when you do, you're going to get wrong back. For us is you. For the open enemy is you. We give each man his own woman. Each man has his own woman. The white man got his woman. The Chinese got his woman. The Japanese got his. We got ours. But ours is with everybody else except us. Now, this is what is going to happen. Since the white woman is the opposite of all of the women, that means they have to have a stronger attraction because they are more opposite than the original, black. So all in between, you might be attracted to it, but it's lesser than being attracted to that is all the way opposite from you. So this means that they have a better knowledge of a lot of things in the way of dealing with people. Because their man, that's what he does. Deal with people. He mastered all them other races. So just by being his woman automatically puts her in a position to know things that the black woman don't know. Don't even care to know. What's going to happen? She knows, well, look, hey, my man ain't never been nothing. He done tricked everybody and made them think he is something. But I know he ain't. Here is the real man. And like I said before, you can be looking at the back of white women with your man. Because you think that, you know, you're so this and you're so that. And he's got to come to you. I'm telling you, you're going to lose. And white women don't have no thing in their nature that gives them shame about what they make up in their mind they want to do. It ain't like, well, I can't do that, I'll be ashamed. Some of them do. If they're not pressured. If the evidence shows that that's what should be done, shame goes. Forget that. I'm going on over here with it. Never get me one, I'm going to get me one. But it's going to be your fault. It is. No one can please their man other than the them. So if you don't please them and they come in, what do you expect? It's not going to be the black man's fault, because in time he can take all the white out and after a while it's going to end up be black. We just don't never let it go back to be white. Are you following me? So we'll start off with the lesser, add to it and make it the greater, if that's what you're going to make us do. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
You mad with me? Okay. This is a message of love. I'm letting you know from the essence. You all represent the highest form of water. Water is material. It was made. It didn't come from the unseen or the essence of that which is not seen. It was made by the unseen, God. So it's matter. And that unseen part that you don't have no realm or no knowledge to be able to get into, that's the part that's over the matter. This is why I say mind is over matter. It's really God is over matter. You all from your essence is matter. You could not stand, although you had all this power. Water is the second most powerful thing in this universe. Second was first. No, not fire. The sun itself. God. The sun rules it all, rules the water. It'll dry up the lake. It'll draw it up into the air, make it float in gravity. The water. But you can't pull the sun down. You can't make the sun do nothing. Nothing. But pray to God, answer, with the center cloud is too hot. I hope you understand what's being said. Now, by you always laying down, talking about water, you're always laying down. God needs something that has to stand up upright, where he can stand up and face and speak to, relate to, be with. However, here's the second most powerful thing, laying down. So what must God do? He's got to inject a part of himself, that is stability, to put in the water to make it stand up. He's got to give you a frame that will cause you to stand without falling down and laying down again. And then for you to be at ease and pleasure, usually if you're going to receive the life from God to reproduce himself, he got to lay you back down. It's kind of difficult standing up. Are you following what's being said? The purpose we brought you here now for is to reproduce ourselves, to reproduce God, not to reproduce you. Reproduce God. So in order to do that, we got to lay you back down. That's your original state. Put something in you, then allow you to stand back up. Are you following this, brothers? It's good that you all know this, sisters, because when the discomfort comes to you from the brothers or the God, and the only ones that's me and God is going to be able to do this. If it's a brother with me, he's claiming, well, yes, I'm with the Father, and he's lying, he's not going to be able to do nothing. You're still going to get it. But the ones that's really with me, he's going to be God. And it's only right that you know from the essence that you have not known or had an understanding of. We got you to reproduce ourselves. Now it's time for me to make another woman. I'm doing another creation. You all may not think that or see it. Just like in the very beginning, God started with nothing and created the universe. I'm starting with nothing, because what I'm starting with is always doing nothing. Everybody that, even the black men, that call themselves into some type of business, they think they're doing something, they don't even look at this. They feel like, well, that's just, some religious thing. That's a theory. Don't look at it. Because they think there's something. How much money they have? Well, I'm making millions. I'm burning up the money. Then what you gonna have? You don't have no friends. You can't buy friends. What good is money? You can't offer it to me where it's gonna save your soul. So what good is it when you compare it to being saved or being rich? What did they say about the rich man? It's as difficult for them to get to heaven as it is for a camel to go through an eye of a needle. The rich man. You see? So what I have to work with is nothing. But I'm making the nothing the real thing. So it's another creation. And if I'm making all things new, are you listening? Or are you following what's being shared with you? If I'm making all things new, this means what has been won't be here no more. So it's another creation. And the woman that's being brought about this time, in her making, you're not going to have a choice. Because the God, when he raises up and I get rid of negative, he's not going to have a choice. It ain't going to be no choice between, well, I'll do good or I'll do right. I'll do wrong or I'll be bad. I'll be positive or I'll be negative. I'll be a good Muslim or I'll be a dumb Christian. Ain't going to be none of that. Is this what you thought you was going to hear? Well, I would love to say, well, you know, the black woman is beautiful. In my mind, she is. In your actions, you're not. Because you think you know more than us. It's all right to think it, but then you try to prove it. Now, I'm not particularly talking about the ones that are really with me. That does not apply to you because you're still learning. You're still guilty. However, the guilt is coming off of you by your submissive behavior. The more you're submissive, the more you grow, the more the guilt disappears. Because you're guilty. You understand? So I'm going to open the floor up. If you all have any questions concerning this matter, you can ask me. But this is what you should remember. When something is made, the ruler is always the maker. No creature is to rule or master the creator. Made does not rule over the maker. How many of you all by show of raising your hands believe what you are hearing to be true? How many don't believe it? Raise your hand. If you don't believe it, you raise your hand. Well, let me ask you again. How many of you believe it's true? So I see some hands not up. So what should I say? How many just don't know? How many hope that it's not true? See, when I'm looking at a couple of people, you know, Caucasian race, you know, she just don't know. That's understandable. Because she came after you. 2 or 3 races after you before she even came into existence. Her 6 ounces of brain is not like yours. She submits to her man because he makes her. He gives her something to do. Gives her pleasure. Y'all just give us hell. You see? He even gives the black woman something to do. You know, it was a black woman came to my house with another Caucasian concerning my grandchildren that were staying with me. That the state was in charge of. And the white woman told me if I didn't fill out certain papers, I was going to lose the children. I said, well, I'm not doing that. Because for almost 8 or 9 years, I've been allowing you all to do this to let you see that I am very capable of taking care of my own grandchildren. And every time you all come and say, you always give us high praises and always promise that's the last time. You just a liar. So this is the end. No. Well, you might lose your children. I said, well, take them. The black woman is sitting there. Well, I don't think you know what you're doing, Mr. Jenkins. Now, she don't know I'm up to here with black women. I just look at her. I'm looking at her. The white woman comes in. She's neat. She got a proper weight. Her hair is done. She looks like she's about something. The sister comes in with her. Look at what? First thing, she needs a bath. I'm like, for real. She had on some funky ass looking jeans. Her hair looked like she hadn't combed it in 2 weeks. She was all stopped up. Couldn't hardly get down, up and down the steps. I'm saying, you know, here's the original woman, here's the made one. If I wasn't going to be attracted, you know, anyway, I'm going to be attracted to that. You see? You know what happened? The black woman spoke against me and what I was doing. The white woman sent the papers to the other state because there was another state was taking care of them. Supposedly, you know, in charge. So she told them, you know, I was mentally incompetent. Had them for 8 years. 2 of them had grown out of the program. And every time they seen them, they were just giving them praises. Oh, your children are just so wonderful. It's not like any other house I go to. So naturally, here come the state, right? And well, we have to come get the children. I said, okay. Come get them. Because I don't lie. When I say it's enough, that's it. I'm not going to say, oh, well, I change my mind if you're going to come get them. No. I'm going to take care of them where they are. You waited too damn late. I taught them. So I don't care where you go. I don't care where you take them. You can't get it out of them. So take them. And when they go, they're going to change the people you put them with. They're going to change them. But I'm mentally incompetent. The white woman asked me. She says, I read where you went out in space on a spacecraft. Is that true? I said, you really want to know? Yes. I said, I did. She kind of blinked a little bit. I said, oh, you don't believe it. Because they ain't went out in a spacecraft. They don't think it exists. So no nigger with no teeth ain't supposed to go on a spacecraft. What are you going for? So then I started really looking at her. And she asked me, she said, well, did you go to other planets? And I looked right into her and said, now she's not asking to find out whether I went or not. She really wanted to see if I'm competent. So I changed the subject. I said, what do you think about when you walked in the house? She said, she shook me. You have a nice place. I said, well, my wife decorated this and everything. She said, well, it's beautiful. Now, what about the planets? She came right back. So I said, well, what do you want to know? She said, well, just tell me something. So this is what I did. I put an expression on my being, not just my face, my whole being, that made her sit up in the chair. Because what I was expressing was a joy that she couldn't hardly relate to. She just knew it was joy. But it was an overbearing joy. So I said, did you get it? She said, get what? I said, how happy I was when I went. She said, well, I could see something happen. I didn't answer nothing else. But the sister was sitting there looking at it. This is a fool. The white woman asked the questions. Black women asked nothing. She just wanted to make sure that, you know, do you know what you're doing? You see? In other words, God himself has got it up to here with the black woman. I don't have to go no further. You ain't really know him. So if you want to taste the fire, it's already written that it exists, already written. It's just a matter of time when you will feel it, when you will see it, when it will be here. Just a matter of time. That's all. Now what you going to do before it gets here to make sure you don't witness that? What you going to do? You can't bring it. White folks can't bring it. The brown man can't bring it. There ain't nothing the black man can't do. It's written in the books. The way white folks put it in, like it's going to be some spooky God that you can't see. He's going to bring down the fire, the lake of fire. Nothing happens that way. The origin is from a man. And the higher he operates in it, the closer he is being God. And when it gets to being something of this nature where it brings about judgment on the planet, it's got to be the God, not a God. And it's already written in the last days. Are you going to make it past the last days? At the end of time, the end. You know, you go to a movie, look at them, you know, movie be real good, and well, the end. That's it. At the end of time, God himself would come. God will come. It's written the days of Allah. I came and it took me a few days to get what I came for. After I've gotten it, it's already written what's going to take place. This place is going to burn. It's going to burn. For 1,000 years, you will not be able to live on this part of this planet. Maybe this sounds nothing to you. The blind man can see it. If he can't see it, he can hear it. It says at the end of time, the white man would be building like he was going to be here forever. And suddenly, it was the end. You can't go down the block and he ain't digging a hole putting something up. He's building whole neighborhoods. He just building like he's going to be here forever. Well, it's already written. Already written. If this is here, and God is supposed to be here, he has to have some days. Well, when the heck is God coming? What's he going to do when he gets here? What is he going to say? Is he going to say, well, look, my beloved people, here's the rapture, so come on up and be with me. You got some bad little children live next door. Maybe your own grandchildren. You don't want to come live with you. But God's going to just bite you up here? No. This is food for thought. So if you all are going to be saved, make sure you don't fight your man. And believe me, she's sitting here today. She don't have to believe in the unseen because they make everything seen. They'll let the black man come up with an idea and they got all the material to make it come out. They'll buy him out. And they put their name down that they did it. They had no idea of it. The black man can't prove he did it because he ain't got no resources. No factories. He don't own no earth. He done sold it all to the white man. No mineral rights. He got nothing but me. Then he don't want me. But that's all he got. I got everything. I got him. I got you. I got her. I got her man. And everybody else. Now, what am I going to do with it? But the devil has gone around the world and made everything wicked. So what the hell do I want with it? It's written that I don't want nothing of this world. Nothing. And that's real. I'm telling you like they say from the horse's mouth. Nothing that this world produces do I want. Nothing. I don't want the nigger that the white man produced. I don't want the bitch that the white man produced. Because he made you all like dogs. So what am I going to do with it? I can't drink the water. I can't eat the food. So what do I want with it? What do I need with money when I can control the rain? What do I need with money? What do I need with you? The only thing you can do is bring me trouble. The very thing that I come here to get rid of. Are you listening? You need to really think about this. I know it's also written that the road to heaven is straight and narrow, and it's seldom traveled. So I'm not disappointed like some people think that I should be if only 2 people show up at the meeting. I already knew this before I came to be myself. It's written. And what I can understand here in Wichita, there's a church on every street. Who are they serving? It ain't me. So what I want with them? Are you listening? However, the woman or female that's with me, and I don't mean with me personally, the person. I don't mean that. I mean with me here. They want to live to see what God really is, what he can really do. They want to feel the warmth and blessing of God. They want to feel it. They want to be in it. Well, then you will be with me. And I will have to change your thinking in your mind for you to be able to perceive what you're into. Because nothing that is of negative will be able to be in that kind of a scenario or future. There will be no muddy water with me. No muddy water. And for some of you all that are with me, you've heard this before. To make sure, before we go into what you call that hereafter, or what is called that, to make sure that I don't take no female that's got mud in them. I'm producing one that's pure. One that's pure. I mean clean, pure. And I'm going to check her by the Mississippi, because we're also going to be dealing with the physical water. Because it's no good to have pure person and dirty water. The water's going to dirty the person back up. So I'm going to check each other against each other. If what I made is pure and the water is not pure, she can let me know the water is not pure. If the water is pure and we haven't finished making her pure and she sipped from it, the water is going to let us know she's not pure. It's got to be where both are in agreement. Are you listening? That's going to be the yardstick as to who's going to make it and who's not. So that means you're totally cleansed. However, I'll say it again. It'll only happen with those of you that submit and want to. I'm not going to make you if you don't want to. And if it ain't but one, I'm still not missing nothing. How you going to cheat God? How? And what is it that you have you can give him? What could you actually give me? Nothing. If you do give me something, it'll be your submission. That's all. Because it is I that is the giver. Here's a small test that you can always perform with you and those that you know to determine whether you are someone's friend or they are yours. If you lie to them, you're not their friend. If they lie to you, they're not yours. And if you have a whole people that exist on lies, they are impossible to be anybody's friend. And if white folks were divine people, the world wouldn't be in the trouble it is now. They're the ones that's ruling. It ain't you. Especially here in North America, it is not you. You don't rule nothing. Am I saying something that's not true? Well, if I know this, is it right to let you know? All right, well, we'll see. We'll see. This is not a message or any way to be taken as a threat. This is like your mother or father telling you, boy, if you do that again, you're going to get a whipping. So if he gets one, that's left up to him. They say, if you do it again, if he don't do it again, he don't get no whipping. Even if he waits long enough and do it again, he still might not get a whipping. But if he do it again, if you promise to give him a whipping, you should give him a whipping. So he won't see you as being a liar. You all got it? Now I'm quite sure next 2 or 3 meetings I have, I'm going to be speaking on this again. However, it may not be at this level. You go and listen to it and pick out all the keys that you need to know that justifies you being saved or being killed or destroyed. It is the black man I came after, and that's who I intend to get. And I've got a number of them enough where I can go now. I don't mean leave the planet or leave you all. I can start doing things that's going to make the world submit. It's written that every nation on the planet is going to bow. Every one. Every Muslim son. White folks. The last man they want to hold out is the Jews. Want to hold out. Want to hold out. And ain't nothing you can do to outrun me, to escape me, to trick me. As long as you're thinking that way, you're already lost. You know, when I was on the ship that the Caucasian was asking me about, and we seen all the nuclear arms and everything that the white folks had built up around the country, around the world, and the different arsenals that the other planets and other life forms have. This is nothing. It's big to the white man here, but to us it is nothing. So they allowed me to look down the line and look, and we seen the man, so to say, pressing the button to take all of you out. But the only thing happened, he just pressed it. Then he got that dumb look on his face. Why ain't it working? What would you want God to tell you? What kind of God would you want? Somebody to tell you how good you are? And you know damn well you're not. You want a God that loves everybody, but even you don't. You see how dumb, you know, that teaching that we've been brought up under, how dumb it is? Love your enemy. He hits you in one cheek, turn the other one. I don't do that. We as a people have turned all 4 cheeks. And he struck us on all 4 of them. Now we don't have no more cheeks left. Is that right? We got 4 cheeks and we've been in there 400 years. So you want God to come and just take you up like they say on the TV ministries and whatnot. How God is just loving in Jesus and Jesus and Jesus. Jesus is a little pissed himself. Damn, man, how come you ain't got rid of him yet? I'm taller than him calling my name. You know, it's not appropriate to show a child power beyond his ability to recognize what he's looking at. It's not appropriate. So it is with God, because the law came with God first. It's not appropriate to show you more than what you can understand. Although you might not want to understand it. You don't give a damn about what you want. It ain't got nothing to do with being personal. It's what's got to be done. What's got to be done. I'm doing it. And I don't love everything I'm doing. I don't love this particular lecture or sharing of knowledge, because half of you still don't understand it. However, that don't have anything to do with the time. If you can remember, when your parents were trying to teach you how to spell your name, it took a little while. You didn't understand it. They had to keep doing it over and over, and then write it for you and show it to you. They didn't wait for your permission for you to say, okay, now you can show me how to write my name. But time dictated it's time for you to do that. Is that right? That's how I operate. So, if y'all got a question to ask about this, you may ask it. If you're paralyzed, well, then I'll just leave. Yes, sir? Mike's over here. Yes, sir. I'm wonderful.
So, I was brought here first of all by Brother Henry, and is it true that I know that reference to the Bible is being made, but at that same time, do you believe all the Bible is true? Because I mean, I heard you quote a lot of scripture from the Bible.
I don't operate on what I believe. It would be a sin to tell people what I believe as though it is true. If it was a belief, I would have to say, this is what I believe. Most people, like yourself, operate in the world of belief. And it is so prevalent because everybody does it. It's like that's the thing to do. In your conversation, well, I believe this, and I believe that. I mean, I really believe so and so and so. I really believe it. God can't do that and be God. I have to know. And as far as the person that's the author of the Bible, I'd have to say the people. But it's not a person. The people that compiled the Bible operate under that same thing. Believe. However, there's truth in the Bible. You know, if you feel nervous, you can stand up so you can see what's happening.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
There's truth in the Bible, however, it must be understood. And the first thing that one must understand, the enemy wrote the Bible. The enemy wrote it. So naturally, he's not going to write in such a way where it makes everything plain and clear. If he did, you'd be talking about what you know. But they don't tell you nothing about what they know. The Bible is a book that has to be interpreted because the man that wrote it is a liar. But the best lie got to have quite a bit of truth in it.
Another question. Well, in addition to that, you said some things from the Bible, but Isaiah 40 verse 8 says the word of God shall stand forever. So I'm just wondering, how do we go about building a different wind or form of doctrine other than that's what's preached, which is the word of God? Jesus said,
well, let me say this to you. When you go to school, the only thing that they teach that is accurate is math, not the word of God. But they haven't found the word of God. But what does coincide with God is math. So when you're taught the proper use of math and how to think mathematically, you don't need the Bible. Because that is the actions of God. Proper use of math and going in action using it. That's how God does things. And it's put together so perfectly, He don't never lie to you. Math don't lie to you. But you say the word of God, that can always be challenged. That's the word of God. For where was God when He wrote it? What did He look like? I mean, was He in heaven when He wrote it? Was He in hell talking to Satan? I mean, where did He get that from? And why do you, since we got brains, why don't you just put it in our brain? Why it got to be on a book? I mean, the Bible is very young. It's not no ancient book. What happened to the people before the Bible was wrote? So you got to ask yourself all these things. So truth is in the Bible, but we don't need something with truth in it. We need just the truth. Like the Bible says, know the truth, not the Word of God. And the only thing that you can use other than the Word of God, really, that is really true, is math.
It's true what you said, know the truth. John chapter 8, 31 and 32, but the truth shall set you free. John 14, verse 6 says, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father, but by me.
Well, what you're just speaking about, Jesus, that the Bible's speaking about, there's a fullness of everything. Like when you was first born, you was a little boy, a little infant. Then you became a baby. Then you became a boy. Then you became a youth. Then you're supposed to become a man. That's the fullness. So what's written in the Bible is prophecy. So the fullness of Jesus, of that one talking about, you can't get to Jesus unless you come by me, he's sitting right there in the back.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Where is he at?
I'm not saying to be smart, I'm saying it because it's true. I know this is, if you haven't been in any classes, this sounds very strange. However, just by being full, we're at the end of that. In other words, the Father is supposed to be at the end of time. So Jesus would have to come just before that. So it's not just 2,000 years is not just before that. The one you're talking about is 2,000 years ago, but that wasn't the fullness of Jesus. The fullness just happened. Now I'm here, the Father, so we don't need Jesus. If you don't understand who the Father or who Jesus was in his fullness, then it's very difficult for you to come to me, because you don't have no base. You don't have no foundation.
With all due respect, sir, I do, and it's through the Word. See, I know you said something about belief, but how can we believe anything except to be through faith? Like you said, like the Word says, the just shall live by faith. I can't believe.
Let me ask you something. Do you believe that 1 + 1 is 2?
Yes, I do.
Well, what do you know? Do you know it is?
Math?
No. Do you know that 1 + 1 is 2?
Yeah, I can look at him and say 1, 1, that's 2.
No, it has to be said right. 1 + 1, not 1 and 1. 1 + 1 is IS. 2. Now, is that a matter of belief or a matter of truth?
That's true.
Rest my case.
Now,
in other words, I don't operate on belief. That's why I can tell you what I'm telling you. And what I've been sharing with the people such as yourself. And the ones that can't. Matter of fact, in the book that it reads just before in Malachi, the last Old Testament, the last book in the Old Testament.
right.
Just before that great and dreadful day, I will send you Elijah the prophet. Just before I come. So Elijah was been here. It didn't say, I've seen you, Jesus. It didn't say that. It didn't say, well, just before that great and dreadful day, I will send you Jesus. And that's the only way you can get to me. You don't read that. So the Bible needs to be interpreted because a liar wrote it.
Right.
Although it's got truth in it. So if you should be looking for, well, who is Elijah? Forget Jesus. Who is Elijah? He first come, and it also reads in the book, Elijah must first come to make a way for God. It didn't say Jesus. So this Jesus thing has been blown way out of proportion. You're looking for Jesus. It don't say look for Jesus. It didn't say, well, look, operate on your strong belief and it'll set you free. No, it says know the truth. And you can't know something unless there is a definite. Belief is never definite. So if you operate in mathematical thinking that brings about the definite, then that's the truth and it will set you free.
That's right.
But until you do that, then you can stand and tell me what you believe. And I'm looking at you and say, well, he's just another black man caught up in the line.
Okay. got one for you. Now, Jesus came in, manifested in the flesh, right? Okay, I just want to point this out. And he said that he is the Son of God. But how could they believe? Now, I want to say this. You're here on this earth just as Jesus. How do they believe? For faith. They have to have some type of faith.
Wait, first I'm asking questions.
Okay.
How does who believe? How does who believe? You lost me with who?
Those who you said who are with you.
Are with me?
Mm-hmm.
They don't believe. They use the same thing I use, math.
Math.
In other words, they can prove everything. I don't teach people to believe. So we send the woman to them. They told me, look, do this, do that, do that, and they start doing it. But they was doing it based on math. You can't go to no nuclear plant and tell them, well, I want a job because I believe I'll be good at this.
Mm-hmm.
And have faith in me, it'll work. They laugh you out of the place. Matter of fact, you can't even get in. So if you're going to do anything that has any merit to it, you have got to know. They won't even let you come and erect I'm talking when I say they, white folks that's in charge of things, they won't even let you put up a light fixture in here unless they come and check it. The math has got to add up. Well, when it gets to me, they want to make it like, well, you can believe. Have faith. He wrote that. I actually show up and tell you, look, you don't forget that belief thing. He don't operate on belief. He don't go to the moon on belief. Like all them Arabs or whatever chanting Allah every 5 seconds. They can't get off the planet. The white man over there, they call him the great Satan. He's all on the moon and Mars and whatnot. But he ain't saying nothing about Allah. He's using math. So I come the same way that works and say, hey, brother, you want to be God. Without looking for God, this is what you do.
So how does one be saved? I heard you speak, but is it through you? Enlighten me.
Yes, sir. It is through what I'm doing. In other words, you learn nothing from sitting still. You don't really learn anything from studying. To actually learn something, you got to go into motion. So I have a system set up where you can go into motion while you are learning the mathematical thinking. And then you will be able to see what I see. You'll be able to avoid danger. You'll be able to be in a safety zone. You will know what's going to happen before it happens. The way you are living, you don't know what is happening, you don't understand what did happen, and you damn sure don't know what's going to happen. Because belief and faith don't teach that. It don't show you that. With me, with what I'm sharing, it lets you see the past, the present, and the future. It gives you a vision. And it don't let you see me as the person. It does if that's what you want to see. But me as the person, the flesh and blood that you're looking at, that's not the thing. It's this, what's here. You have the same ability to be right as I do. However, there must be one, like the book reads, in the last days God would come, or at the end of time God would come, not Jesus, not Elijah. God himself would come. And he would bring you out of this strange land that you've been in for 400 years with great substance. Right. So I'm not going to bring you out with great substance and you still praising whitey. You still holding up Jesus and he's been gone 2,000 years ago. If you understand what's really being said, really being shared with you, and start to practice, then you'll start going off like everybody else. Oh, I see now. Oh, man. But now, it's just safe to say, but yes, I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. That may be safe to say to those that say it. But that's crazy. Because it's extremely offensive. You got any children?
I have a son.
Got a son. All right. How would you like it if I came in your home? And I stayed by your invitation? Maybe 3 or 4 days. Maybe 7 days. 9 is a good number. Maybe 9 days. And your son starts calling me daddy. He's always in my lap. He's always holding my hand. He's always hugging and kissing me. But you sit right there. What would you do?
I would tell them the truth. Whose dad he is. Okay. Now, I heard you say something about negativity and positive. I heard Brother Henry talk about that as well. But one thing we lack is the sin issue. You talk and express the Bible. All through the Bible talks about sin. Negative, positive, we have a sin issue that we're dealing with. How? How is that? Through one man sin into the earth. But, I know that you read that in the Bible. I'm sure
first place, let's describe what sin is. According to the Bible, it's the transgression of the law. And the law is not the law that white folks made up. It's my law, the law of creation. So when you smoke, you get cancer. When you drink, you get liver cancer. When you're dumb, nothing happens for you. Because you're breaking the law. However, there's a man that came into the world, one man. He introduced it by our permission. And then he baptized everybody in that sin. Meaning that he gave everybody something to do. And in their doing, he made them do it in a certain way that always promoted and magnified sin. He always make you break the law. You can be sitting home having a good time, and everything is fine. The next thing you know, you go turn the water on and ain't no water. You call underwater, come in, hey, what's up? What's up with this? Oh, well, you didn't pay your bill. Let me cut the water off. But I paid my bill, I got proof right here. Well, let us see it, bring it down, let us see it. Now, they got computers and everything. You go down there and show them, oh, oops, they made a mistake. They done broke your piece, cut your water off. Now you can't even flush the toilet. A man of sin. In other words, the things that he do, you go to work, most things that you do, you got to lie on the job. Because that's the norm. You're supposed to do that. And what is reading in the book? No liars makes it into heaven. So wouldn't that be a very good way for the man of sin to make sure nobody go to heaven? Let's keep God by himself. Okay, God, I can't stop you from coming, but damn it, when you leave, you go by yourself. Because I'm going to have everybody a sinner. And I said, okay, go ahead. And at any time when I come, all they want you can go with you. All they want me will go with me. And I'm taking care of your hind part. You will never be ever again. And you won't even be a memory in a couple of days. No one will even remember you. That's your faith. And I'm putting it in ink because it's telling you about your end. You get it in ink. At your beginning, you're going to put it in ink so you can't forget it. So you can't come in the last day and say, well, I forgot. That's been such a long time ago. I wasn't here. You know, like they say, well, I wasn't your slave master. I didn't do that to you. Well, that book takes care of that, right? The sins of your parents will be visited on your children. So they still can't get out from that.
Only if it's broken through the blood of Jesus. See, that's the difference. Let me tell you something. Real quick. Now, okay.
Y'all learn anything from this?
All right. Good.
Don't y'all forget what I just shared with you. Don't let Satan take you off. Well, go ahead and tell me about the blood.
I surely will. Just before I say it, I just want to say I have no fellowship with Satan. But anyways,
hold up. What you say?
I have no fellowship with Satan.
You have not?
No fellowship. See, people, the word says,
I didn't hear what you said. What you said?
I have no fellowship. And in the Bible, you made mention of Elijah, but all through the Old Testament, they were offering up sacrifices to atone for sin. So yet, when God did send his son Jesus, which was the final sacrifice for all sin, and you said you talked from past, present, and future, now, he's already done away with sin. All we have to do is just receive the sacrifice that he's made. So, how does, that's what I don't understand. See, the sin issue here. We can't save ourselves. There's only one through one you can be saved. Only through one.
All right, even if we take that statement. Y'all listen? Only through Not the one that you're going through can save you. Only through. You got to get through that one first. Before you can be saved. So I'm right in time. You never came through. You got an opportunity to come to hear what God is sharing with those that came through. So we make it public so you can come. Now you're confused. Because you're so filled up with what you believe and the belief of what Satan, the man of sin, had you to believe. And what makes you think that God gives his authority and his permission for a man of sin to come and take over the world and expect the man to do right?
Say that again. One more time.
The man of sin didn't just come into the world on his own permission. He had that kind of power. He had to be given, matter of fact, first he had to be made. He had to make it. We had to make this man. He didn't exist. We made this man. We call him mankind. We made him for the express purpose of bringing in sin. Because we wouldn't do it. We knew about it, but we wouldn't do it. If we didn't know about it, we would have never made him. But we wanted to make sure that we get a thorough knowledge of just what this sin would do. But somebody had to do it. Just like you. If you're going to be saved, you're going to have to come to these classes. Period. There's no getting around it. So the man was made. We allowed him to come up with his sin and allowed him to give everybody something to do. You call it job. And your job keeps you a sinner. Especially by the time you got here. You got here 400 years late. First 400 years you was in chains, whipping you, knocking the babies out from you, making you pull the plow, not the mules and horses you was pulling. So today, because you sit back with your remote and look at TV and look at, oh, the agony of this TV, you don't even have no knowledge of what happened while you even got here. You know something is wrong, so then the last final grip he got on you is to let's go against God all out. Put together this book and make it sound sweet. Because they're going to go for it, because that's what I always do. I always put that window dress in there. Come get this car. This beautiful white woman laying on there with her baby showing butt hanging out. So he puts the same thing in the book. So now he got people like you believing this. So when I come, I want to get a few. Because you wrapped up in belief. And you got a book that you can prove. The only thing you can prove is that you wrapped up. God would be absolutely an idiot to allow someone to come in. For the last 6,000 years, and this planet is trillions of years old, trillions. In the last 6,000 years, we let a man come in and sin. Without God's permission, he just comes in. That's crazy. And God let him know, okay, you can have 6 days. That let you know who the boss is. He's telling them, you can have 6 days. And at the end of the 6th day, in the morning of the 7th, I will come and put you to rest. It has been 6,000 years. You all got this right.
Okay.
Are you being bored? You're not using this to get away from what I said in the beginning. You know something will come on you.
Okay. Am I holding you up? Okay. All right. Just wanted to know.
Well, what I did, I just asked the audience.
Okay.
They said, too many words. They said to me, "How did you let you go?" Oh, that might be an insult to the permit you to continue.
Okay. Anyways, and so if I come to the class, that's how I'd be saved. Otherwise, I would just be trying to save myself.
That's the beginning. You can't do it. Ain't nobody here beating you across the head. Nobody pulling all the money in your pocket.
The key word I said, though, I'd be trying to save myself.
Okay. You can't save yourself.
That's right.
You will be in a position to be saved. The way you are now, it ain't nothing to say. You consider yourself a human being, you breathe and whatnot. However, when it comes to that really counts, you can't be counted. Like it reads in your book, there's a number on the other side of the number. You know. Because you don't know the formula of even knowing how to know God. You wrapped up in somebody's spirit.
So you say you set things into motion. I remember you said you set things into motion. When the Word of God was being formed, it was set into motion. When Jesus was speaking, his disciples were recording his very words. The words in red are the words of Jesus. But you read the Bible though, so I mean you quote the Bible, so I'm sharing the Bible with you. That he's I mean the Bible can't be quoted if it's not being lived by.
We're talking about being able to think, to make sure 1 plus 1 really is 2. That's the part you're missing. You're trying to start with 1 plus 1 is 2. They go and say, yeah, 3 plus 1 is 4, and you can argue that point. But you started off wrong. You can go all the way up to 100. Got to 100. But it ain't 100, it's 99. Because you skipped 1. So what I'm expecting to you, and you represent all the brothers that has not come in, that been walking by laughing at this place. And he who laughs last is the best laugh. You see? So all you brothers out here with just the fact that all the brothers and sisters walking around with them that blame Bibles is messed up from their soul their feet to the crown of their head, the crown of their head to the soul. They are messed up. So something should tell you something wrong with that. I mean, people that don't even believe in the Bible go to the health food store, they look good. They prosperous. They don't say something about the Bible. You don't see the president talk about the Bible. One time he said something about let's pray when the 4th and 9/11. Didn't he talk about, let's everybody pray. Before them Bible. But you, what's happening, brother? Satan is keeping you from me. And I'm not asking you, do you believe it or do you don't believe it? I'm not asking you. I'm telling you what's happening. Now, how he's doing it is what you got in your hands. If you put that down and use this before that was ever constructed, before the man of sin ever got here, then he can't trick you. Simple as that. Now, if the Bible was so great, God wouldn't never have to come. The Bible got it. But that ain't what the Bible reads. In the last days, God would come. But the man of sin want to make sure, I know God's coming. But you ain't have nobody, like I said, I'll have him cursing you. That's what you're doing to me now. You're not outright cursing, but just being somewhat obstinate in your form of learning. It's like a curse to me because I've gone through this. Like I was talking about the sister. I had a wife. But she did everything she possibly could to make sure that I was not successful. She sold her soul to the devil. I watched it go in. He's trying to get me. But there might be a little above your head. So what I'm saying to you is, you're not new. I've been regurgitating you for a long time. Because I don't accept it. It is you that have to take me in. You don't have nothing on. Nothing. You have nothing on. You can't offer the Bible. I was even when you were born. How was you, 22?
25.
25. Yeah, I was.
Oh. Late 50s, early 60s.
Well, I'm old enough to know what you know. And that's what you know. And I'm old enough to be respected. This is what it is. No stop. The man of sin has caused everybody to think that everything revolves around them personally. They have a right for their own thoughts. Yes. You have the right, or let's say the man of sin has the right to pin that on you. So then you go around talking about what he pinned on you as it's still your opinion.
Who's the man of sin?
The white one.
So there's no way they can be saved?
The book says let's say the only way.
John 3:3. By how?
They have to go back through the process that I was born again.
Born again. You said born again through the Spirit of God. How do you receive the Spirit of God? See, people think Jesus is dead. 2,000 years ago, he still lives. But see, that's the word too, which people spoke. No?
You need to listen. Yeah. You can ask the question. You need to if that could be done, I wouldn't do it. The book reads, I'm the wonderful king. The prince. Mighty God. Well, that's the Bible, but I'm what the Bible talks about. So which is the greater? That talks back to you, or that you have to hold?
Always. But, okay. But now I know. You okay? Okay.
Whenever you want to put it into it,
I'm about to end quick. Okay. You just made a good point there. So then I bring it to this, where the word says, in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God, but you said I hold it in my hand. But the Word teaches us to hide the Word in our heart, so I don't even need the Word. Put it up here, too.
That's not the way I remember it. First it was the Word. And the Word was with God.
All right.
So, what is the process that makes the Word? Since you don't know, because I said it in the beginning. Energy, which is intangible, is not material. That's the essence of God. The essence. And so we can say that's the Word, because the Word is intangible. Then the Word is with God. It means that now we can see somebody is carrying out the Word. We can see it. And then you couldn't say, you can't see no Word. Then the Word becomes God. Then it means that all God is, He's the essence of everything. He is that. Not that He has it. He is it. So you're looking at it. However, if you keep looking at that book and going through that book, you're not going to see it. Because it's got you spooky. You're looking for something that you cannot identify, you can't prove it. Best you can do is really believe it.
It's not really that spooky at all.
Okay.
But one more question, and I'll be through. I know, I'm going to ask this question, but I just want to say sometimes I heard this said by a brother, not in here, in my congregation. He said, if you can't see it, if you can't touch it, if you can't feel it, then they don't want it. Because the things of the supernatural are too much for them to conceive in the natural. But let me jump over to this.
Brother. The only thing I ask of you is to take quick hold of it.
I'm thinking.
Listen, you think we can listen. What you just said. You can see. I can explain to you the supernatural. I can explain to you the essence of everything. You can use it. That's what you got. In the book. In this scripture. Just like I gave out just a little bit about you. You get cover books and color and everything. It ain't called ink. Anything that has any document or whatnot, say, well, you'll put it in ink. Why is it called ink? They don't teach that in that book. However, you have the mentality to win. Oh, that makes sense. What you're really saying, that's a fraction that can be recognized. Let me get some more fractions that will come up and add up to be singular or one or true. Because just a fraction by itself is not necessarily true. Because it's a fraction. But if you give enough fractions to make a whole, then you got the truth. But why you hold the book that's printed by several different people? And it's been revived several different times. So why would you revive the Word of God? You didn't know what the hell you were saying? So somebody got to revive it. You got to think, man. You got to think. I came after you. But I can't make you do it. But you can't make me keep the fire from your hind parts if you don't come. Simple as that, pure. You got to think. You got to ask me to show me enough right no book. That's white folks thing. We gave them the right, hey, do what you're going to do. You got 6,000 years. You can rename the angels. Have the power of the creeping and crawling things. Over the air, over the fish in the sea. You the man. Only for 6 days. And then everything is going to turn against you. Because we will have learned what we have to do by then. You understand that evidence? Okay. Wouldn't you say in your own estimation that I'm more knowledgeable than you?
What I say in my own estimation concerning the things of
Period.
when it pertains to things of this life, I mean, you have more years on me.
That's not answering.
But as far as the things of truth concerning being saved, I mean, no disrespect to you. We all see who's right in him. I mean, you said so. So, but to answer your question, I don't think that, no.
Okay. Go ahead and say it yourself. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You got to bear witness. The man of sin did his job. So what you gonna do? You gonna do yours? This is clear evidence. I wonder, how many of you all know why when you get to 9 you start back over with 1? Do you all know why? Raise your hand. Who knows? Maybe I should teach on that. Well, I'm not going to let you kick me off. Think about that. Oh, we got somebody else? Or the brother's coming over? Well, that is something that's very significant. From 0 until 9 is 10 digits. Is that right? Most of you say 10, you start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. It isn't. 10 is from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. Digits. It's hard to count 0, but you can't ignore it. Because that's where everything starts from. The word, the intangible, the nothing. You got to start from nothing, so you got to recognize it. Because I recognized it. And if I recognized it, I made it a law. So it's from 0 to 9 is 10 numbers. Then you got to start back over again with 1, not 0. 1. Because now the 1 is greater than the 0. And you add a 0 to the 1. Nine is a number that's constructed in such a way it puts a period to the numbers. I don't care how you add 9 up, divided, it still comes back to 9. That is the period. You don't go no further. You got to start over. So in my development of being the supreme being all the way into my full potential, we started off with nothing. And we constantly graduated. And we showed our ability of graduation through the planets. How many planets are there? So which number of planets are we on now? Everybody agree it's 7? So it means there is at least 2 more planets of knowledge that has not been expressed yet. Is that right? The number of this new God is what? What planet are we on? How are you going to get around it? The twin planet to this, sisters, the twin planet to this is the next one coming up. Venus. Twin. Not another planet. Twin planet. Oh, yeah. We got somebody who's got a question? Yes, sir. Because I don't want y'all to forget what, I really come here to talk about the system. And let you all, because I got to give you power. the right kind of power. And this power that I'm sharing with you now won't work if you try to use it wrong. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam. Oh, what happened to the preacher? He left. He's outside. He's not. Oh, Jamal. Oh, he's got now. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You asked permission to make a statement in regards to the topic as far as the sisters. Yes, sir. I'd like to share that in my journeys, one thing that I've learned, regardless to, money, modern technology, anything of this world, what I've learned that is important is the simple things. Everything else you got. You have everything else under control. I don't have to try to control how things happen. And that's a problem that I've been having. However, I see now, all I have to do is focus on the simple things. Focus on making sure there's no trash on the ground when I walk. Making sure that I put the toothpaste, clean the lid before I put it back up. Make sure that I treat my wife properly. And I would like to thank you for my wife. Baby, would you stand up?
Wow.
I'd like to thank you for my wife. Baby, did I ask you? I didn't say sit down. It's okay, baby. I like to... Maybe I still didn't share sit down. Stand... No, well, okay.
You got something in mind.
It's okay, baby. I'd like to thank you for my wife. And some of the simple things I just need to focus on is making sure that she's as beautiful as possible. Making sure that everything that she needs to magnify righteousness, she has it. Making sure, me and my baby, we like to start or not necessarily even start, however, be involved with a clothing store. She likes women's clothes and fashion, and she's been making some outfits and whatnot. And yesterday I bought this suit. And the brother that I bought the suit from, he really was a real suit salesman. And he made me feel good. I went in, and even though I was spending money, he made me feel so good that I was spending it and helping me put the outfit together. I know we had to take at least about an hour and a half for us to get everything in place and just try to make sure everything was perfect. However, it was a brother that was doing that, and that actually, my whole life, I've always been a salesman. I sell a lot of things, more than, most people in the room that would know me. I open businesses and things like that. However, at this point, in focusing on the small things, what I want to focus on is me and my wife's beauty. And my wife is the most beautiful being that I've ever known, except for yourself.
Really?
She's, as far as someone that I've had personal contact with, that has had contact with me in my life through all the different journeys and explorations that I've been into. So, I would like to just thank you once again for my wife, and she's wonderful. It's because of you, Father.
That's a very good testimony, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Baby, you can sit down, baby.
But did you see what she did? With a smile. Although she was noisy.
Yes, sir. Now, this is somewhat off of direct... Well, actually, it's not. It's the same topic. My sister. I brought some of my family with me. This is my biological sister, Barnea Grant, and my nephew, Edward. Will you stand up? This is my nephew, Edward, and as well as my nephew, Clydell. He's somewhat named after me. My middle name is Royall. Will you stand up, Clydell? Stand up. Everybody see you. Okay, you can sit down. I've brought them. The way that I've seen it up to this point is like, it's your job to teach my family. You have been teaching us, for us to teach our family not to throw them in the mud if they don't want to be there. However, I've, had my family at the temple, and then I'll be over here for a while, and my biological family's like, where's Royall? And then I turn around, and then I go back to my biological family, and then I turn my back to the family of the nation, the righteous family, the human family. So at this time, what my will is that the members of my family that want to be right, that they are actually able to see the truth. And my sister, she is a minister.
I think I've seen her before.
Yes, sir. Yeah, she's a minister, and she has been really, you've been working with her in the unseen on a whole lot of words. She's been breaking down words and putting God's meanings to a lot of words. And she's been studying the Bible. However, the way that she studies it isn't the way that the brother that was here studies. He doesn't even study it the way that he follows it. She studies it. And she's going to be starting the church soon. So I would like to ask if you would possibly be able to speak with her and give her some ideas of how she can go about doing that idea, however, without keeping it in the proper context.
Well, let me suggest the new Bible.
Oh.
It's called the Centerpage.
Yes, sir.
You got that book? You got the Centerpage book? You don't have it?
No, sir. She'll have it.
You get that and just about anything you can think of is there. And if there's something you need to rotate on that you've been having a little difficulty with, just check the minister here. This author is very, she has students, very capable of sharing understanding. I'm quite sure you'll find a relief if you really want to share truth with people. It's never no one's, a righteous person's purpose to get a following. Following today is that it's good that you may have students and no following. You may go to school, you don't follow the teacher. You're the student. The teacher goes one way, you go another way. But he left something with you to practice that's supposed to make you free. So that's what we do. To have a following, at this day and time, that's terrible.
Yes, sir.
So, yes, sir, you go ahead and work.
Yes, sir. May I make that statement?
Behind you,
Oh, yes, sir. I'll be brief. Yes, sir. There's another gentleman that I invited out, Mr. Rolf. He's been a brother that's been, having an entrepreneurial spirit in this community for years, ever since I can remember. And, I asked the brother to come out, and the brother's here. And so I just wanted to, identify the Mr. Rolf, and I appreciate you coming. Yes, sir. Let's see. In closing, at this point and through my journeys, I indeed know what must be done. However, and I would like to move forward. However, I don't want to move ahead of you.
That's good. Good position. Well, as long as you stick with us, you'll be able to move where you want to move to, whatever height you want to go to. There's no limit, no boundaries. Knowledge is like the water of Zimban. You never get full.
Yes, sir.
But you always satisfied.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Bless. My name is Vince. I was brought here by Brother Sean. And the question that I wanted to ask you is, the reason why women thirst for knowledge today, is it because that, the devil is using them as vessels to attack us gods and make it difficult for us to reproduce? Because he knows that our bodies are already, a lot of us, infected. So physically, it's difficult. And then also mentally, by having our captains infected mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Is that safe to say?
Yes, sir. But it didn't just start happening. In other words, we are at the fullness of everything. We are at the fullness of the death of this world. And we are at the beginning of life for the one that's being brought in. So as one is going down, one is coming up. So yes, sir, the black woman, the woman, period, all is really focused against the black man. For him rising. They take your children, and they make sure that you don't teach them. They send them off to some school where they are baptized in the center of this world. There ain't nothing you can do about it. You try to do something about it, go to court. Not only you don't get the children, now you got to pay all your salaries. You got a job. You almost got to live underneath the breathing in a paper box just to pay alimony and support and child support. So the whole thing is rigged up against me. However, in the white man's eyesight, you are me. So if he can get you, you're the weaker part of me. And he don't never go to the strong part. He don't come directly at me. He's saying, well, look, I don't have to. I just get everybody around me. If I got everybody around me, then you by yourself. But I'm a dangerous person to be by myself. Because I don't need them. I didn't need them to bring me here. I came on my own. And I came for them. So if I don't get them because they don't want to, it don't mean I fail. Because in that very verse where he's talking about, Elijah was sent as the prophet, and if he's to turn the hearts of the children back to the fathers, and the fathers back to the children, and if that don't happen, I will smite the earth with a curse. It didn't say white folks going to do it. He already smited you. I said the earth, like Shaka. Can't even drink no milk. Milk the cows and put it on the ground. Don't have no children. He did all that just because his mother died. What do you think I could do? You see, because we are in a hell of a condition. You're in the pit of hell. And the only person that can go in the pit of hell, don't be affected, is me and bring you out. Outside of me, there is no hope. Period. No. I don't care how you figure it. I don't care what nation they call it the nation of the gods in the earth, whatnot. That's a lie. This man got a nation called the United States, America. You laugh at all these other nations except this nation. Because he's the master of all nations except the nation of the nature of the black man, God. He's not the master of that nation. Most people say, well, the United Nation of Islam or the Nation of Islam, they think it's like a physical nation. That's not what he's saying. Instead of saying nature, they say nation. However, really what they're saying is, the united nature of God. And my nature goes everywhere. It even permitted him to come and mess up everything. And I'm so powerful, so confident, go mess it up, I'll straighten it up. And in straightening up all those that want to be straightened up, I got something for them. I won't see them, they won't see me. Ever again. And then those that really come against me, you listening? Black women? When you really come against me, like you got some kind of fire behind you, then I have a place for you that will make you suffer a few hundred years greater than the others that will be below you. That's going to go through the same process. In the Quran, it reads about, those ones that come against me like that, they will be in the deepest part of the fire. Deepest part. So most of you think, well, when you say deep, you think down. That's not necessarily true. Because the fire is not down. There's no fire down in the earth. That's hell, and you go into hell and you're going to burn. Oh, no, baby. You lied up here. You sinned up here. You will burn up here. You're not going to take that filth on the inside. If we want it on the inside, that's where you would have been from the beginning. Because all righteous people that did not choose to partake of this lives inside this planet. They don't come out. And we didn't let white folks come in. So we came out. Most of you got hung up on Shabazz left and went into the jungle. Yeah, he went into the jungle. And the other 12 tribes wouldn't go with him. So he said, okay, you don't have to go. I'm going. I'm the God. I'm going to get this set up. So he set it up. And in the process, we brought white folks in. However, in reality, we said, yeah, okay, bring them in. But they're not coming in our home. We live inside the earth. So just like Shabazz, there's quite a few that did not want to come out. So the God himself, his people had to come out. Just like Shabazz people went into the jungle. So we came out. Met him on the outside of the house. And that's why this is the only planet that you see life on the outside. Only because of white folk. Don't know intelligent people go home and live on the outside. If you're going home, go inside the house. So this house that we're standing on right now, we're on the outside of our house. And the only reason why we chose not to go back in because we're not taking white folks in with us and pollute our house. However, the idea had to come to fruition. So we came outside with them and said, okay, you got 6 days, let's do it. And at the end of the 6 days, I'm taking you out. And everybody that's with you and really come against me, not white folk, like it's written in the Quran, you know, you are kindling for the fire. Kindling. That's right. You know, kindling burns like that. Well, you, black man and woman, the fire is really for you. For those of you that did not come and partake of what you should have, when you should have, I got it for you. Because the real essence of you is fire. So that's why it's described in the book that this fire is hotter, or 7 times hotter than the fire of the sun or any fire that you know. Because it's hotter, I have to make it hotter. That come against me with that kind of fiber that will live or exist anymore. So the heat is to the temperature where I will destroy the entity. Think about it. Think about it. And that's why they call it a lake of fire. And when I do it, I'm raising it up 6 miles in the air. And the fire is coming from up, down. And the ones that come against me is going to be on that part that I raise up. So they're going to be deeper in the fire than the ones that's still down here. But you're going to burn too, baby. Now you tell me I didn't know this before white folks came along. But no, you want to keep telling me what you believe. Tell me you believe that fire is hot when you get in it. You're going to say, I know it is. Yes, sir. That's the plan, and the man worked it. I got to give it to him. The man, he worked. That man worked his plan. We still farting around. Because you just can't believe God is a black man. He just can't be a... With no teeth too, that's pitiful. We put it in the book. He's going to be slain from the foundation. That's the way he looked. If it wasn't something about his appearance, it wouldn't have been in there. It wouldn't have been... It would just say, oh, don't cry no more. Here comes one coming to take the book. But they made a statement. Here, don't cry no more. Here comes someone from the root of David or whoever, Jesse, whatever it was. And it looks like he's been slain from the foundation of the earth. They had to say something about it. But no, you all going to tell me what I'm supposed to look like. You're going to tell me what I'm supposed to do. You're going to tell me when I'm supposed to do it. You're going to tell me how I'm supposed to do it. Well, damn, you can do all that. Wasn't even me even coming. You see? So when I come and tell you, my thoughts are not yours, and yours damn sure ain't mine. But I got everything set up for mine to be coming to fruition. Yours, I'm doing away with it because it ain't yours. It's a man that I brought in here of sin, so he got to go. So if you think like him, you go with it. You live the life of the devil, you die his death. So yes, sir. It ain't nothing new. It's coming to an end.
All right. And, well, the other question I had is, because we live in Babylon, like America, and most black people here are 30% white, and white being, you know, the natural enemy because they want to oppress, how is it that we can really not admit that part of them is us and a part of us is them, because we live in Babylon and we're all mixed together?
You always got to, that's like if you're going someplace. Maybe, you know, you may live a couple of miles from here, maybe next door. Your purpose is to come here. Now, what happens to you in between you leaving your home and getting here? Many things could happen. But if you take your mind off the purpose, you'll lose. You keep your mind on the purpose, and you say, oh, I see why this is happening. It's trying to stop me from getting to my purpose. That's the same thing. You know, the whole thing, the key word you said, white man, is the natural. So he ain't pretending. He ain't making himself good. It's just natural. He's the natural enemy. So we ain't got no right to be mad with him. He just naturally do that. Now, so what does that mean we're supposed to do? Naturally take it? Oh, not now. I mean, you all might naturally believe you're supposed to take it. I ain't taking no more of it. You know, it comes a time like, enough is enough. I got to keep my word. I gave you time, did what you wanted to do. And matter of fact, you were stumbling and fumbling around so much, you were wasting time. We had to send somebody to you and say, you better get busy. You know, God's coming in the next couple of days. He said, oh man, that is right. Oh, well, we're happy. We'll send you some scientists. Can't help you get on the roof. Because you got to make a great show. You got to be this great magician. So build a bridge across the San Francisco Bay. Black man showed them how to do it. Build up the White House and all surrounding what's not black man leads it up. You see, so we help them make this great show because I don't want nothing that ain't right. If you ain't right and you want to be right, come in with me. You're not right and you love not being right, like one brother tell me that I'm dying, but I love the way I'm dying. Okay. You know, have a good time in death. That's the end of you. When I done, don't y'all forget. That's it. I talk to my Michael Jackson is your brother. Everybody say you look like Michael? Everybody say you look like? Keep your eye on me. Am I holding y'all too long?
Assalamu alaikum. I was handed a pamphlet, I say about a month ago. It touched on the Quran. And I might be wrong trying to quote this, but it said that it was divine, or it was the truth. It was a lot of the truth in there.
It came from me.
It was a center page.
Oh, the glorious Quran?
Yes. I'm asking for correction if I was wrong, right? As far as, you know, if it was divine or the truth. So I was told a black man and gave the knowledge to the Arab.
Well, you mean what's written in the Quran?
Yes.
No, sir. Most of the Quran was revealed. You know, it's a to or through Prophet Muhammad. So the ones that were his friends that was around him were not really there. What he was saying. That was actually coming from what was being revealed. So when it being revealed, it wasn't a flesh and blood person there telling him. It was revealed from mind to mind. And thinking of it, he was quoting it, and it was so profound that the ones that was around him wrote it down. And after a period of 23 years after he passed, they decided to compile what they wrote. And they put it together and called it Quran. However, that was in Quran before.
Right. So, I apologize. I think I asked the question wrong. What I've read was that they had got a piece of the black man's knowledge of Allah.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand. I think I understand. Yes, sir. Yeah, it was two of them. It was the Glorious Quran Part 1, the Glorious Quran Part 2, and the Bible. And they had these people that went around and followed the wise men. It was always writing down what the wise men did, and then they compiled and put it in the book. That's what they call the Bible. That's why the Bible is called Bible. It's built by that process. Why these white people following the black people around and extracted knowledge from it, you know, like always poking their nose in the business. And so the chief man, the man that represents all of that action, whatnot, they call him the Pope. Because what came out of that, what they wrote, come from him poking his nose in it. So they call him they call him the Pope. He's the epitome of it. In essence, the people that were doing it, they call him gypsies. But, you know, since the white man came into existence, I mean, he was brought in, so to say. He put everything to his advantage for the time that he was given. So he built it, you know, he didn't want to go by the Quran, it was too much right there. You know, and to show you it was too much right, this is why that they are required to pray 5 times a day. The number is 6. So if you divide 6 7 times, you know, 7 days a week, or 7 days in a week, if you divide, you know, they pray 5 times every day, you come up with a number greater than the days. So it keeps them, every time they get ready to go back into their nature of devilishment, it's time for them to go pray. So, I can't do this wrong, I gotta go pray. So they throw their rug out and go pray. But they white folks. People want to look at them now, they're the Arabs. They're white. It's just that they've been over there in the desert. They still white. They're like the Jews. Well, I'm the Jews and you're the Gentiles. That's a lie. They're white. All of that is diversion, illusion. They're still white. It's just that they operate on a different vibration or a different level of intelligence, divine knowledge. That's all. That's all. So the white man got a Quran before the Quran was made for the Gentiles, so to say, or the Arab. The Jews had it. When Musa brought them out of the caves and whatnot, then we gave them scripts and scrolls of how they would conduct themselves, and they compiled it as a Quran. And then when we checked it, they changed it. We said, oh no. We're not going to allow you to do that. You have to come up with another book. We can't make you change it. But you're not going to call that the Quran. So they changed it, put it into the Injil. I think it's Injil. Therefore, Torah. Changed to the Torah.
Is Prophet Muhammad divine?
No, sir. The memory of what he did, people want to make him divine, but he himself wasn't divine. Ain't no white person divine. They just white. They're the devil. Ain't no divine devil. You have some that's better than others, but all of them are devils. Not the woman.
So,
she's the white person devil.
So the story of Angel Gabriel revealing what Allah himself had put in him is not true.
Oh, no, sir. You asked me was Prophet Muhammad divine. I said no. That's why it had to be revealed to him. If he was a man of righteousness, God could have came and just talked to him. And it would have been his nature, to have been in agreement with it, and he would have remembered it. He wouldn't have to write it down. He would have remembered, start telling people, start teaching it. But since it's not his nature, it had to be revealed because it's against his nature. So we had to do it in a way where he couldn't resist it. So it's almost like you go into a trance and you start talking, and then come out, man, what did I say? But because we have to also give white folks an opportunity to do right where they couldn't come back and I come and say, well, if you had sent me a prophet in my own color, I would have been right. So since we know they ain't already said, so we give him one. Prophet Muhammad was white. He was no black man, he was white. So they can't say. Then we had it wrote down in the book. So they cannot say they didn't have any revelations from me to them. And you notice, this country don't go by no Quran. But it rules all the other countries. That's because they don't read the Quran. They don't pray 5 times. As a matter of fact, they don't even pray. They have people on TV praying to trick you. Them rappers are making buku money. So in their ideas, it's praying, man, but this is a lucrative business. It ain't got nothing to do with your soul. You ain't got nothing to do with it. So, by him, it don't mean that he himself was righteous. It's just that they had to have the knowledge where they couldn't come up with no excuse. I don't accept excuses. I would accept the reason, but not an excuse. If the reason is valid, I gotta go with it. But I don't accept no excuses. X means unknown. You're not supposed to be unknown to me.
Okay, listening to you, you were saying that as far as there was a Quran destroyed, or it wasn't the right Quran, there's a second Quran.
Yes, sir, the first one that the Jews made. Since we wouldn't allow them to call it Quran, we had to get rid of that. And before they would change it, they got rid of it and come in with the Torah. And since white folks still had to know, so then we come up with this thing with Prophet Muhammad. So that wasn't changed. In other words, the words that they read that God supposed to have spoken. See, in the Quran, you got the very few little words, underneath it, got all this right and everything. That's the devil coming to tell you what he wants to tell you how to think about it. Well, why you gonna do that? That's a partner. God speaks, and you can come and interpret what God says. Like God is too young to put that away. What you know? That's taking on a partner. But nobody looks at it like that because everybody's under the spell of the Caucasian. Except the ones that's with me, and they still wrestling. Because they done got past the Caucasian. Now they're wrestling with the Caucasian boss. Satan himself. Caucasian can't do it for Satan, but submit to it. Bad thing. But I got people I'm eating. They can wrestle with. You know what's coming with? If they look back, they look and say, "Oh, Father!" If they're here, work right here in the corner. I'm up with.
So the Quran is righteous?
The one that we know?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It is a book of knowledge. And it's righteous. However, not for us. It is righteous for the people that it was allowed to be given to. The man of sin. God, I mean, I'm very merciful, very generous. You know, we have one sitting here today with us. I didn't say we'll keep her out. I don't never say white folks can't come to me. They just don't come. Because they already know. I want to hear that. I want to hear that, I might start feeling guilty. And then, I can't rob people. So the same with them is, hey, you ain't going to give me no excuse to hear. If I was going to allow that to take place, I would let it stay. What the Jews came in, I would have done nothing. But I did. I gave the Quran to somebody else who put it through his mind, sent it through him, revealed it through him, where he didn't have no power to stop it. And then I waited until he died. And then inspired the ones that wrote it, put it in a book. Then all the other white folks can read it. Then it's, this was a great man, because the way it's written, it is pathetic. Is that right? Pathetic. Whatever. So, you can't deny. However, in the Bible, it talks about book of knowledge and a book of life. Or a tree of knowledge and a tree of life. You need the tree of life. The Quran and the way they practice is a tree of knowledge. That's not a tree of life. Since you, black man, is dead, you don't need no knowledge, you need life. And a book can't bring you life. Life has to bring you life. Look at it. I'm alive.
So, one more question as far as your subject of today, the black woman. I'm going to ask the question, then I'm going to explain the question before I can actually answer. Is the black woman naturally weak? And the reason why I asked that is the understanding I have gotten was that we was put here to rule the earth, the black man. And if the black woman is weak in today's time, should we take some fault for that on the aspect of black women are more, should I say, products of their environment, their surroundings, and things of that sort?
The black woman is not by no way, shape, or form weak. Okay? And it's a language thing that you might be wrestling with. We were not put here to rule the earth. We made it. That's why we were talking about the number 9, and we're on the 7th planet. Each planet is called planet. I planned it. So we wasn't put here like we're specimens and let's place them out and let's see if they can rule this. No. We're the rulers of all of it. All of it. It's just that I'm a new Allah. A new ruler. Because what has been ruled has always encompassed or always had a partner with it that we always had to keep in check. We want to get rid of that. We're tired of looking behind our back. Going forward. Every once in a while we got to look back. We're sick of that. And to let you know, you always, even if you don't look back, just keep going straight. You think you're going straight before you know it, you're right back to where you started. Making a perfect circle. Right back again. Well, we don't want to be locked into that. We want to go straight as long as we want to go. We want to do it. So we wasn't put here. Who was put here is the man of sin. To make us see what has to take place to get rid of this thing that make us keep making a circle. The white man is insignificant. He means nothing, because he is nothing. He was brought here for one thing, that's all. However, to accomplish that, we allowed him to have power and dominion over all things. Allowed him. loud. So he did. And we was watching, like he watched us, we was watching him. He went into the microscope and studied us and everything. He got a gas where he can come in here and kill all of us, and his woman walk right there. She might feel good over that thing. All of us in here dead. Of course, he went and looked. You all don't look, but we already look. We already knew what he was going to do. We already knew what gas it is. We got a gas that, when it comes back from the crater of the mountain that we raised up a mile high to kill everybody in 50 mile radius. And we also got another gas that would neutralize any gas he got. Big weight kid. However, what has made it wait, like they said, wait, for we are waiting on you, black man. We're going to bend and have this thing over with. We're waiting on you. But like I said, we just about got everything we need as far as the black man. The scientist came to me one day and said, Roy, he said, you want you mind. I said, you? One thing I've learned, you always use your appropriate words. And let there few in there. So if I get more than a few, that's to my credit. And they didn't say they want a few people. They didn't say they want a few of my people. They didn't say they want a few black people. They said we only want a few minds. Well, I automatically think they must want the best mind. The best man's mind is the black man. But he got 7.5 ounces of brain power over all the other people, so that's the best. So what I do, I share this kind of knowledge, and it will gravitate, or the ones that have this will gravitate to it. So if it's only 10, that's a mighty few, but it's a 10. So I will have accomplished what I came here to do. And if you all come that don't have that mind, and you still come, I'll keep you mind. Isn't it ironic that they asked me to get them? What is it they saw in me that I could get it? What did they get it? But they so busy they couldn't get them? And then when they tell me, look, hey, what we do, we work 6 months on and take 6 months off. Why don't you take 6 months that you off and go get them? What made them think that I'm going to be successful where they weren't or didn't want to? Now, they didn't say, Royall, you're going to get a few minds for us. They said, we only want. I want. Like the brother said, he wanted his wife to be beautiful. He wanted to have a job. He wanted his people to he wants. You can agree? You got it?
Thank you, sir.
I talked too long again? That was it? Get your center page. I hope we have another one. And you might say, well, God is hoping on this particular thing yet. Because there's other people that's doing it. And I want to tell them, look, do this. But he didn't do it. But I want them to do it because they want to do it. So I hope they do it. Come out with the center page number 2. I had a few more things to say. I didn't say number 1. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
And so after this, unless someone's got a real pressing question, we'll make this the last one. Okay? I mean, unless y'all will hold it. You don't mind sitting there and teaching this? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Father. I have a statement, a couple questions. Yes, sir. Statement-wise, thank you for coming. And thank you for allowing me to be here. I've encountered quite a few obstacles in and out over the years, relationship-wise, and just being who I'm supposed to be, or coming into being who I'm supposed to be. And you bless me. You say the most or best thing you can receive is another human being from a person. I don't know if you did it or you allowed the scientists to do it. However, I think I found a match, perfect match. Yes, sir. Like, thank you for that. And one question I like to do is ask her name. What is it? I mean, I know her name. I want to ask what's her name mean.
I don't know.
Her name is Charmaine.
Charmaine? It says like paper.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's showing money. Show me. Nobody else can do this right. You know, that's the last time. And they got them get it anyhow. That's the last question. Oh, I guess I can do that. Is anybody behind me?
No, sir, Father.
Sure who?
Charmaine.
Charmaine?
Yes, sir.
Manly.
Yes, sir.
And now that means you got an idea. You're right. You don't have to prove that it's wrong if it's wrong. I don't know if she does that or not, but that's what it means.
Yes, sir. Another one. Some years ago back, I asked about my name, and you shared me a temporary basis, measure strength, boundaries limited. I had a problem with the boundaries limited because I didn't quite have an understanding of it. I'm coming to a better understanding of it. However, I would like the absolute.
You all see it? What do you read? Do you read purity? Do you read boundary? Do you read wonderment? Do you read search for? Do you read a little nervously? In other words, life itself, you haven't grasped it in such a way where you're comfortable. You just know that this is right, one day you'll get it. And at the time that you have a wife or whatever it is, that's a part of your comfort. However, nothing supersedes that word or the spiritual or the ethic. It's just the creases between your forehead that you know something is quite right here. Then go ahead.
Yes, sir, Father. I'm noticing there's I think the news is calling it Venus, pointing towards the west. It looks like a star out there. I'm not sure if it's a star or not. I want the absolute on that. Is it a star or is it a ship or?
No, sir, it's a planet. The planets are lining up to make sure that they show their appreciation for my presence. You know, when a man reaches the level of being a man, everything has to back witness to it that all is not here. Nothing rebels against God that knows God. Only rebellions I give is those that think they know. Think. As long as they're thinking they don't know. So they do all kind of dumb things. It's necessarily the black man. God, but you're dead, God. You always trying to tell me I don't know God. Not that I live this. This is me. I don't have to pick up. You know, I don't carry no book. I am that I am. I'm not looking for no heaven from you, because you can't produce no heaven for me. Clear evidence you ain't produced nothing for yourself. So I would be crazy looking to you to give me something. The only thing you can give me is proper. And you do that. However, since I am who I am, that's no thing to me. I deal with it because the purpose is to bring you out of that kind of scenario because you're God. You really are God. But you can't see it if you don't go by the laws that you put in motion. You can't break the law and think, well, because of you, it make allowances. You don't make no allowances. You make fire hot, you go stick your finger, it's going to burn it. Unless you really are God that's alive and know how to do it, then you ain't going to do that. Thank you all for coming out. I'd be very diligent. For the sisters, I'd be very diligent, and brothers, for the next couple of tapes that you all get it. Because I'll still be speaking on this subject. Because there's quite a few things that is going to be brought out that you must know. quite a few things that happen. You all as being females that don't let you hear things all the time. So it has to be said over and over until you find you on a day where you are listening. And then you'll have it. Now maybe speaking today, and some of you all on your ministry got a cramp, you missed what I said. What did you say? You know, you thinking back to what Mama did, she didn't make the dishes this morning. You all got a whole bunch of things. So now I'm focusing on you to make sure that I'm not going to cheat you. You're going to be able to be saved just like your brother. You understand? But to save you don't mean that you are our God. You are our God. And you've got the example sitting right here with you. Well, let the white woman come and get you mad. But she's on the way. I don't blame her. I just want him to do. Assalamu alaikum.